Okay, interview with Maureen Duffy Donnelly for our legacy video, part 2.
Part 2? What happened to part 1?
We did part 1.
We did part 1?
Yeah.
Oh,
Remember?
okay.
You don't. We can ask the same questions over again. She'll never know. Okay.
All that homework we did for nothing.
Son of a gun, I'm glad I didn't
It's
miss
okay.
Well, I
we
know
got
we
it.
started something, but
Yeah.
I didn't think
So
we
this is
got
part
very
2.
far.
I'll
we
send
got
it to
far
you.
enough.
Oh,
We
God.
chatted
Okay.
for a good long while.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
I'll
so we
send
can
it to
chat some more. That's all
Can
it
we
is.
start again with them?
No, we got it. It's fine.
This is
I
just.
know you got it.
We're
We're gonna edit it.
My
Yeah.
stupidity.
We're gonna edit it.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not even. It's more just for our knowledge rather
Oh.
than for public consumption. So
Yeah.
you shouldn't worry about
Thank
like.
you.
Yeah, this isn't going to show up on like
Okay.
CNBC or
Maureen.
whatever.
Just on Ellen.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. So random choice of questions. So all right, you can answer and
Or not.
or not. You know,
Yeah, right.
or just say what's on your mind, Maureen.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so tell us all about your hobbies and passions and things about you that would answer the question, who is Maureen? What are your hobbies and passions? Now or growing up, you know, it doesn't matter. Like, what are the things that interest you? What kind of...
Well, growing up, it was always music. It was always singing, you know, so I thought I was going to become famous. So did my Aunt Florence.
Well, can we just...
But that didn't happen.
You having said that, can we talk about Carnegie Hall?
Huh?
Carnegie Hall?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I did sing that once.
Oh,
yeah.
I did sing at Carnegie
big
Hall
deal.
once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's really?
Yeah, we just...
I know, right?
Yeah.
Is this
She
where the
told me
Rockette
that.
rumor came in?
Maybe. She told me that when we were standing in front of Carnegie Hall. She goes, oh, I remember when I sang there. It's like, what?
How funny. With who?
Yeah, like how'd that come about?
Whoever was dealing with whoever was representing me at the time just booked me there. And
I'm
I
sorry.
sang.
She had a
It was like-
representative. She got
It was
booked.
like an audition, I think, to go to, you know, like schooling or whatever for
Oh, huh.
music, I think.
Huh.
If I
So
can
you were how
remember
old?
rightly. I was probably 16, 17.
Were you?
Yeah, somewhere around there. 17 maybe.
And you sang a solo.
Yeah.
Sang a solo
In Carnegie
at
Hall.
Carnegie Hall.
Was it scary?
Yeah. No, I was excited,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think I was super scared. I was confident that
Because
I
that's
could
like,
do
you know
it.
how huge that is. I mean, that's
Yeah.
crazy. Carnegie Hall is like the concert hall,
Well, I know.
like the quintessential concert hall.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was it that
I don't
famous
think
when you
that
were
part of it
17?
hit me as big, you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah! Oh my
Yeah.
God! Carnegie Hall's been forever.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest names today don't get invited to sing at Carnegie Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy. That's huge. So that might be the seed of the the
Music.
Rockettes.
Oh.
Yes, the
Okay,
rumor.
you know that the Rockettes rumor.
It's like
Like you were a
everyone
Rockette.
in North Andover thought you
That
were
thinks
one
you
of the
were a Rockette.
Rockettes.
That would never happen. I can't dance like them. My God.
Yeah, that was
Do you remember
funny.
that guy that, what's his name? Hanky Spanky or
Chris
Mhm.
Spanks.
Chris
Yeah.
Spanks? Hanky Spanky.
I love
Sorry.
him. He's awesome.
Oh, he's awesome. He's so
Yeah.
funny. He's a guy
Chris
that
Spanks. He's somebody in. I don't remember him growing up, but
He's like the
we're sort
freaking
of like
mayor
Facebook
of
friends.
North Andover.
Yeah.
he drives
Oh,
like a
not
plow,
Not anymore.
and he has his own little like show.
A
So he
YouTube
films
channel. Yeah.
while he's snow plowing. It's
Oh.
hysterical, and he talks, and so he did. We have
So
it on
North Andover.
Facebook.
Yeah.
So I was watching his stuff like it was a movie, and he was coming down Main Street in North Andover, and he took a right to go that way past the church and up towards St. Michael's, and I said, oh, so I texted him. I said, oh, if you took a left, you would have gone right by my house.
Oh my God! It's you. You had a hand in that. I did not know that.
Oh yeah. And so I said, you would have gone right by my house. So then like a week later, I see him coming down 3rd Street or wherever the Phantoms lived, that street, and towards like Richard's TV thing.
Yeah.
And then he started plowing our front stairs. This is where the Donnelly sisters used to live. One was prettier than the next. They were like what the end of was American Idol. The mom, I heard she was a rockette.
Oh no.
Oh my God, it was so funny. It was so funny.
Oh, my
You were
God.
like, oh my God, I'm on the front steps of my house. And he was just going on and on. It was really funny. It
Oh
just
my
came
God,
up in my
that's
memories not too long ago. I'll show it
Oh,
to you.
really? That's so funny.
Yeah, yeah. It's on your phone.
Somewhere. Yeah, it's on like it's on somewhere on Facebook,
It'd
but
be
I can
fun
find
to
it. Yeah.
see.
Oh, so fun.
Yeah, and the chat for that post was pretty
Mm-hmm.
fun. too.
Lively.
The
Yeah.
people commenting on it. Yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
It was
Anyway,
good. It was
so
So you're not a rockette?
I'm not
Never
a
been a
rockette.
rockette?
Never
I
been.
bet
a
you had the legs
rockette.
for it though.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. I know. I think back of my legs when I had good
My
legs and
sister
they were
had
pretty
good
good,
legs,
but
not me.
not anymore.
I had the,
Yeah, she wanted to be like that. Maybe that's where he got it from.
No, that you know the picture of her like laying on top of the car. Have you ever seen that picture?
Her
In a
laying on
bathing
top of the
suit?
car?
I
It's
No.
like a Buick.
one of her legs straight
Yeah.
and one of them up. I
What?
remember that picture.
I've
But she
never
was
seen
telling
that.
me, you mom, you were in like a bathing suit or something. And it was an old time car.
I
He
have a
was a-
picture
I
of her
remember-
washing a car.
I was standing in front of a car. and
No, you were like
laying-
literally almost laying across the back of it. And I said, I was talking about it one time to you, and you said, oh my God, you know, we were talking about smoking. I don't even know why we're talking about smoking, but she said, do you know what I thought used to think was the coolest thing
Oh
ever?
yes. Yeah.
I was in my car and I had my hand hanging out the window like this, and there was just a cigarette right there. I just thought it was so cool. And I
Yeah.
thought that was so funny.
That's so
Oh,
funny
yeah.
because I did a photo shoot with Erica at one point, and we did like that exact.
Yeah.
I think I was pissed.
Yeah, when you're that
Yeah.
age and you start smoking, you think you're grown up and big deal.
Yeah, plus I didn't know
And
about
so
it
that, you know,
as much.
I smoke. Now you
Yeah,
say,
back
what
then-
are you out of your mind?
Yeah, back then,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
we were
Yeah.
less informed.
We did not know then.
Yeah, did you smoke while you were pregnant? No, you never did.
No.
That's when you quit smoking.
Wait. 20, I smoked from 15 to 21. I stopped with Anvia,
Good choice.
I think.
Just saying.
21. Yeah.
So
No,
that was
maybe
one
it
of
was
your
22.
hobbies and passions.
Yeah, it was 22 because you were 22 when you had on.
22, yeah.
So singing was one of your hobbies and passions.
Yes.
What else did you like to do?
What did I like to do?
Did you do other creative pursuits? You painted. I remember you
I
painting when we were.
yeah.
You painted a
But I
picture.
didn't start painting until I was married and had kids. And I think it was something I just wanted to, we didn't have a lot of friends, unfortunately. We had family. All our outings were always to family, to family, to family.
We've always been
And,
that.
but otherwise, I had certain friends from organizations, Girl Scouts and things like that I had. But your dad was real close to just family and didn't have friends outside. Anyway, so I'm losing my train of thought.
I
What
know
was
where
that?
I got it from.
My dad, an introvert.
Oh yeah. So anyway, I'm losing my train of thought.
Sorry. So you were
Your other hobby.
your other hobbies. You said was mostly family. You hung around with family
And
and.
you painted because you didn't have
Oh,
a lot
when you were
of
gonna
friends.
start
that's
to
what
paint.
we're talking about, painting. Okay. So once the kids were big enough and in bed and all that, I decided I wanted to get out and have something to do in the evening. So one day a week, And so I just signed up for a painting group. And you just come with your canvas and paints and whatever. And that's how it started. And then I just
So
started
and so,
painting
how old were
here
you
and
in like then? About
Then I would say 30
because you
something.
yeah because I remember you painting. I remember you painting a beautiful portrait of your aunt. I'm not sure which aunt. It was for an anniversary. A couple for an anniversary.
It might have been Evelyn and Ray.
Maybe so, maybe
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
And I also remember very vividly a painting that I have thought about many times over the years, thinking that I will, and very recently I've been thinking I will. I'm gonna
Replicate?
not replicate, but just I love the idea and the inspiration for it, so I will do.
Do
Which
it.
you, as an artist, you find your inspiration like wherever you can, and
Yeah.
and that was like something that I just remember so fondly as a kid, and it was such a great painting. It was a painting of a circus tent, and there was it was as if the viewer was looking through the opening of the circus tent, and you could see like the crowd, and you could see up on a trapeze there was two people up on the trapeze, a man and a woman up on the trapeze, and then there was outside the circus tent on a bench was a clown, and he was crying, and he had a letter in his hand, and it was, you said the story was that the clown was in love with the woman on the trapeze, and she was in love with the guy on the trapeze. Yeah, I love that.
I do
Oh,
remember
crazy.
that.
Yeah,
I
it was
kind
really
of
beautiful.
remember the picture. I don't remember that story though.
Oh yeah, that I love
Painting.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also remember from your painting days. Remember that room we had on the third floor that wasn't a bedroom; it was kind of a storage room,
Yeah.
right near Andrea and Tara's room.
Yeah.
There was a huge brown leather, what looked kind of like a doctor's bag, and it was your art
Oh
bag.
yeah. I
And
remember that.
I would go up there into that room and just open it up and smell it.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
I just
yeah,
loved the
yeah.
smell of the oil paints and the turpentine and all of that stuff.
That's funny.
I remember that
Yeah.
so well.
That's
Yeah.
what got you going.
Yeah. Well, what
Yeah.
got me going was, I think I was like 8 or 9 years old, and and the fact that we were raised as a unit, it was, we were the girls, and we were
Yeah.
like, nobody ever like nailed our name immediately. It was always, you got to run through the
Right.
the list of names, and and we were just, I just didn't, I like had no idea I was an individual for
Yeah, they're not weird.
for a long time, like way longer than this story, but when I was like 8 or 9 years old, I remember you introducing me to someone as your little artist.
Uh-huh. Cool. And you are. That was great.
Oh.
Sorry. That was huge for me. Anyway.
Well, I thought that was going to be me.
Okay. So anyway. All right. Music, art,
Yes.
boy chasing. That wasn't a hobby? No? Girlfriends? Did you have like good girlfriends?
Younger years. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I had girlfriends. Yeah. My best girlfriend name was Barbara. She lived on, what the heck is that street? Oh, I know, it's something Van Zant, or something like that. Yeah, we were best girlfriends. But I had other friends too, from school. And,
Yeah.
some Girl Scouts and so on.
Girl Scouts was good. Maybe tell me stories
Yeah.
about Girl Scouts. 'Cause
When
did
you were
theater.
the leader, or when you
No,
were
my
a Girl
mom-
Scout?
She was a
My
Girl
mom
Scout.
was
Oh,
a
gotcha.
leader.
No, but you were our Girl Scout leader.
Yeah. I know,
Yeah.
But my mom was my Girl Scout leader. Mm-hmm. She was good. She kept things very, nothing special for me, which was good. Yeah, she was super talented lady.
Except that time when you were in the lead of the show and all the daisies were around you, or the bunnies.
Yeah.
What?
I know. That
We have there's
picture,
these
yeah.
two
I
photographs.
remember.
Yeah, there's two
Yeah.
awesome photographs of like Grandma used to put on shows like
Yeah,
plays,
yeah.
and we have two photographs from different plays, I guess, and
Yeah.
one was you. I think I have them both somewhere. You standing in the middle,
Yeah.
singing something because there was a microphone, and then the rest of the girls were all like behind like a little picket fence, and they all had like big daisy
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah,
headdresses
yeah,
on.
Yeah.
And then the next one was you singing something, and there was like everybody dressed in bunny costumes
yeah.
and
Oh,
ears and
I remember
stuff.
that.
Yeah,
I remember those pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She put on all those cool shows. All right, so moving on. Did you have any misconceptions about the world when you were younger? And if so, how has your perspective changed since then?
I had misconceptions about the world. And
Did you have any misconceptions? This could go either way. You could go light, you can go
Yeah,
dark.
yeah.
But I mean, just really, like, I mean, what did you think the world was, and what have you found out? Or I shouldn't say the world, but life.
Yeah.
And then, what did you find out differently? How have you sort of, figured things out differently?
Well, I grew up in a family that was close. You know, there was never any irritability in it. My sister and I weren't super close. We were 3 years apart. So she was in the schooling years, she was in her area and her friends. So we weren't that close then. And I had my friends and whatever. So, but it wasn't until after she got married and had kids that we really got close, because I would come and visit and help take care of them and stuff like that. And so our relationship then got closer, you know. And then eventually I got married and then moved away, and so we didn't stay as close, and which was too bad, you know. But anyway, and once I got married, you know, the relationship was, you know, when you're dating and everything, so wonderful, and nothing's wrong with it and what have you, you know. And then you get married and time goes by and you get to learn who you marry. And didn't seem
As fun as you thought.
Yeah, well, I was just a yes person, because I thought the best way that you got along was to agree. And so no matter what came along or what decision, that, you know, if the drapes wanted to be blue, that they were blue. And I had no, you know, and that was my fault, that I didn't speak up and stand for myself against, you know, anything, and say, hey, I'm a person and this is my individual.
Well, how do you think that happened?
Huh?
How do you think that happened? I mean, how do you get to a point where
You just want to please the person so much that...
So it was born out of love rather than like
yeah.
fear.
Yeah,
or-
no, it wasn't fear. It was love, I believe. Yeah, you just wanted to please that person so much, but of course that was so wrong, because you lose yourself,
Yeah.
you know, and you become them. You just whatever, you know. Oh, we're gonna go here Sunday. Great, everything's okay. All right, you know, and that's the part of the world that you realize later is a lot different, and you should have spoken up and maybe have made it better by saying, okay, you know, this is...
I have an opinion.
Yeah.
Hello.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Hello.
And that by
Yeah.
hurting somebody or disappointing them, you're not necessarily going to lose them.
Right, which is probably your fear in the beginning, that you just want to make them happy and that, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what was different. Back then I was just a yes person. And I didn't really find myself until after we left him and came out here. And then I started to visit me.
I think you found yourself at the
Yeah.
moment
Yeah.
we
You
decided
to get
leave.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that doesn't mean it
Yeah.
got, you know, easier, but it just, you know, you made that decision.
Yeah.
And that was not something that would make make him happy. So, yeah. I mean, so it started earlier than that.
Yeah.
And you would wish, I'm sure, for your kids, your grandkids, whatever, to stand up for themselves and to make their own
yeah,
decisions, and
definitely.
because you have to like work with.
I think they do. I think
Yeah.
everybody's kids speak up. yours especially. She,
Busted.
Erica, you know, no, seriously, Erica
That's
is
true.
very
God love
forthcoming.
her.
You know, you don't fool around, and she doesn't like it, you're gonna know it, and I
Yeah.
think that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
know?
and like,
Yeah.
how much do you love Erica? Oh my God, like she's
Yeah.
she's powerful and she's strong and she's brave and she's fierce and she's all those things, and I love her so much for all of that. You know, like so yeah, that's, and especially for women, you have to teach women to be that,
Yeah.
because we're swimming upstream. You
Yeah.
know,
True.
yeah, you can't, and really in the end, if somebody is going to put their needs before yours every time, you don't want to be with that person. You know, you don't want to be with
Oh,
that
I
person.
know. I should have thought of that.
Well, you know what? We're all evolving. We're all evolving. That's
I don't think
what
that's
we're here
the way
to
the
do.
world worked back then, to be honest with you.
No, it didn't. Yeah,
Because
the
that's
world
not-
has changed.
A lot of the way marriages were, where the woman was home, the husband went out to work, and you didn't really have a lot of friends, and you didn't really do a lot of things. You were just supposed to do laundry, the kids, the house. And,
Yeah.
Like,
we-
what
you know.
year were you married?
What?
What year were you married?
Hello.
Ish.
Give me a minute.
What decade were you married?
So how old were you when you were married?
58.
58.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 50s were like, the 50s were, that. Women stayed home barefoot and pregnant. Men went out to work.
Yeah.
You met them at the door with a cocktail in their hand, a martini ready for them to put up their feet while you fed the
dinner
kids.
and, yeah.
I mean, that was the decade you were living in. We don't live there anymore, thank God.
That's one thing and I probably don't understand why now, but we didn't drink. We never had alcohol. All those years growing up. Ever.
Did you
We
drink
went to-
before you met
Huh?
Daddy? Did you drink before you met Daddy?
I had my first drink at our wedding.
Really?
Yeah.
And how old were you at your wedding?
No, I can't say that, can I? When I turned 18, which was the drinking change, then I had some beer.
Just to
My mom and
celebrate.
dad used it. My dad especially drank beer, and he'd always say, "Oh, taste this,"
I know.
But when I got 18, I went out with my friends, and we had some beer. That
Tasted
didn't
better?
last long at all. I didn't like it, and whatever.
No.
So I never drank until, and then I think I had a cocktail or something at our wedding, and that was. But then after that, we just never had it in the house. We never drank. We never had.
And he was
alcohol.
never a drinker.
No,
Daddy.
no.
No, he'd do a
One
sombrero
thing
every
is-
once in a while.
In his benefit, yeah.
I was gonna say, thank God. I probably wouldn't have been.
I always thought
good.
that he didn't drink to because or there was no alcohol in the house because of your folks, because like he was like trying to save you from becoming your folks.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so weird. My folks, I mean, everybody's going, oh, God, you're alcohol. They were
Nobody says
Nobody
that.
knew them, really.
Nobody says that. Yeah.
they were just really good people.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
My mom was super talented. I mean, she could have gone places with, putting on shows, and she was creative. She went to college. My dad didn't. I don't even know if he finished high school.
What'd your dad do?
A lot of guys didn't back
He
then because
worked
they
in
went
the
to the
telephone
army
company.
or they went to the military. Your dad was in the military, right?
No, my dad.
no?
He went to the Coast Guard, I think. Yeah, I remember he must have been in it because he was in the Coast Guard Reserve when I was old enough to know what. And he'd go away 2 weeks every summer and come back black. And oh, he loved it. Absolutely loved it. But he. I keep losing my train of thought.
We were talking about their drinking.
Yeah, I know that. I don't. Oh God, isn't that awful? When you ask me a question, and it takes me off what I was saying.
Oh,
You were saying
oh.
that she was super talented, and then I asked you what your dad did, and
Oh,
you
okay.
said the telephone company.
Yeah, New York Telephone Company, 45 years.
Wow.
Yeah, he would take the car and bring it to Douglaston Station and park it and get on the train and go into Penn Station, change and go way down the bottom of Broad Street in New York. 45 years.
And
of
did he
that.
like his job?
Yeah, I guess. He stayed there 45
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
You know, he provided and whatever. Um,
Did your mom have a job?
at the time, I'm trying to think. I think growing up she didn't. No, she didn't work. She just took care of us. But then she got into Girl Scouts and all that kind of stuff and had a chance to branch out. But anyway, as far as the drinking went with them, I think she never drank until she met him, I think. And then she, you know, then they just would visit my Aunt Evelyn and Ray and, you know, and some friends and that, and have some people over. And so they drank socially and whatever. But then as time went on, it became a daily thing, you know. And so they would have a bottle, and it was out liquor. It was like whiskey in little shot glasses, and they'd have a little shot glass, and then go on with their day. And
Kind of a New
whatever.
York thing too.
Yeah, maybe.
In the day, were they drinking?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. But you know, they would never fall down drunk or anything, either one
Yeah.
of them. But it was just something, you know, that kept them.
And
Happy, I
how did
guess.
you
Yeah.
feel about it at the time? I mean, were you like concerned? Were you aware? What?
Yeah, I was aware, obviously, to remember those things. I have a feeling that my dad not being as educated as my mom, and I think in a way as, she was the one who never had, she was never drinking till she met him. And I think it was his way, as they got older and that, of keeping her contained for him, rather than off,
It's like their entertainment.
you know, doing other things. That's my own assumption. I don't know if it's true or not. But I think it was his way of sort of controlling her, so it was okay if, you know, she could drink.
Was he quiet? Like,
Yeah, he was more quiet
Yeah.
than she was.
Yeah, I don't remember him ever, like, he was always very, very quiet.
Yeah. I mean, he always seemed nice and like,
Yeah.
you know, like,
Oh, he's a good man,
Yeah.
good loving man. You know, he loved his boats and he loved what he was doing, but he didn't have that anymore. And so he used to always take us the first place down to Douglaston along the water, looking out, you know, at the boats and stuff, and that was his treat, you know. Yeah.
but you didn't drink at all until later.
Me?
Yeah.
In that house, were they always in that house? The house you grew up
Yeah.
in?
I remember that house.
Until they passed, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember those
we
dogs
moved there
next
when
door.
I was
Oh
5
my
months
God,
old.
those dogs.
Those huge,
Saint Bernards.
yeah, those huge Saint Bernards
8 of
next
them.
door.
Oh, next door.
Oh,
yeah,
God,
yeah.
I love those dogs.
Yeah.
They were nice.
They
I remember-
were just, but they were so,
Rambunctious.
but they
were
were
like-
so, like, intimidating.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
ginormous,
And
and there was a lot of
drooling
them.
and just-
Yeah.
But
oh
they
my
always
God.
like ran to the fence.
You
And
try
I
to get by the
remember-
fence, they were just, like, massive. Do you remember them?
Was it you that told us that the kids in the neighborhood used to put nails and sticks and stick them in there and, like, you know, try to
Bully them?
Yeah, bully the dogs and stuff.
I'm not even kidding you. They look like
It
those
might be,
dogs
but-
with big.
The barrel.
We never did that.
No,
They
no,
looked
sure not.
like absolute
Growing up,
giants, and they were like
that
eight.
neighborhood.
You know what it
You
looked
were
like?
I mean, that was
Yeah, but do you
woods,
remember that
you know.
baseball movie?
We're having two conversations.
Yeah, I
This is
know.
being recorded at the same
What?
time.
What?
They're having a conversation. We're having a different conversation.
Trying to
being
describe the
recorded.
dogs.
Oh. Anyway,
This
those
is your
people-
video.
We're going to be extra loud too because we're right here.
For
Sorry
so
about that.
many, for so many years, there was nothing there. Our street was like that, a crisscross of 16 houses and woods. Woods everywhere, as far as way to nowadays to freeways far away. And it was nice, you know. We used to walk up into the woods and whatever and never be afraid, you know.
Everyone was afraid.
And never be
Oh,
afraid.
never afraid.
No,
Never afraid.
no. And yeah, I mean, it was just so quiet and whatever. But then by the time I was 13 or 14, I think, they'd knocked down the woods and they built up apartment complexes all behind us, and that house and was next to us, and a whole bunch of houses behind us, and yeah, that all came. I didn't like that. I liked it when it was quiet.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I hear that. And Daddy lived down the street and around the corner and down the street with Aunt Ann, right? And that's how you met.
Yeah. Actually, our house was here facing out, and then that's the house with the dogs.
That was on a corner.
Yeah, and down behind them. So if you looked out my back window, you know, you could see their yard.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
close, yeah.
But I met her, Ann Rittenhouse, first. I don't know how I managed to meet them for some reason. And they were really nice, and we visited and whatever a lot. And then one day I was there, and
Woody came in?
Grandma Dolly was there.
Oh,
Oh.
She was visiting, yeah. So I got to know her first, you know.
What'd you
And
think
she
of
was
her?
really nice. I liked her.
Yeah?
She was nice. And
That was her sister?
no, I don't think so. They were cousins, maybe.
Oh, okay.
I think they were cousins.
Oh, because
It
Aunt
wasn't
Peg
her
was her sister. They only had.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
God.
Yeah.
I remember Aunt Peg.
Anyway, so yeah, so I used to go over and visit all the time and whatever, and then well, I just remember one night I just happened to be looking out the window and I see your father walking down that way, and I'm like, who the hell is that?
He
Yeah,
was all spiffy.
yeah.
Was he
yeah.
spiffy?
And then I come to find out he was visiting over there, and then who he was her son, you know, and so yeah. So I used to watch him all the time and think, oh, he's so cute. You know, little did I know.
Well, you know, I mean,
yeah,
you never know, but
you never
but
know.
but you guys were good for a while, yeah.
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 Mhm.
I'm sure he was. I mean,
Well,
he had a
yeah,
lot of good
because-
qualities. He was very charming, and he was,
Oh,
or he
God,
could be,
yeah.
and he
went
was-
out and he talked to people and they charmed the pants off him.
and a good, great storyteller always.
Always, yeah. yeah.
Um,
Oh, he had very good points, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you guys started dating? Did he hit on you?
No, I think.
Did you hit on him?
I think at first their son, John.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh,
Rittenhouse,
you guys were a thing, right?
Yeah, well, we were. I didn't consider it a couple, but he invited me to go places and things, and that was the first time I went to New York and different places that I hadn't seen. Like my dad worked 45 years there. On a weekend, there was no way he was taking his family into Manhattan.
Yeah.
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 So I never saw any of that until those years. You know, when I got into the city,
And you
then
loved
I
it.
loved it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I remember Daddy telling me that he would take you. You'd be walking down the street in Manhattan, and like it was a bustling, and you know people coming and going, and that you would be walking with him, and you would have this like long dark braid down your back, and people would like stop and look and stare at you, and you had no idea that you know like how beautiful you were.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
I believe it. I believe it. So
So what happened?
You're still beautiful. You're
Ding
still
dong.
beautiful. You goofball.
Where do you think I get it, Mother?
Yeah.
All right. So let's go to the next question.
Oh my God, was that question number one?
That's what question number one.
My ass is dead.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
nice,
that was
too.
actually question number 2.
Fantastic.
You're skipping
Um,
a bunch. What
Oh no, that was question number 1.
What are you doing?
Plucking the nose blowing.
Oh.
And we're done.
They'll clip that
we
in
get you
editing.
on camera, Mom.
Clip that in editing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm kidding.
It's a natural thing.
Okay, so Oh no, we did get on to question number 2, so we'll move on. Question number 3. What would you most like to be remembered for?
But I
A fly killer. A fly
Your
killer.
compassion.
Towards animals.
Good question. I don't know. I try to be. I don't know what's the terminology. Someone who likes to keep everybody together and happy and
Matriarch.
pleasant and who?
A matriarch.
Oh, really?
Like a matriarch of the family. They're the
Oh.
person that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Because family is very, very important, you know. And to those who aren't good at it, you know, find a way to help them realize what they're missing if they don't contribute.
All right. So, how would you describe family? What do you think? Like, how would you define family? You say family is important. How would you define family? Why is it important?
Why is it important?
Yeah.
Well, you have each other. There's no one else in the world who would care about you as much as your family. And if you don't have a background of that, going out into the world, meeting other people, and all that, is a lot more scarier, I would think, because you're just all by your lonesome and there's nobody to back you up, or, you know, and when you're close to your family, you become stronger, you know. It's just like these
It's your team.
Yeah.
athletes that you see interviewed and all that, they're all showing, oh, thank you, they're all showing family, you know. They're all back there backing him up and her up, and that gives you strength, you know, to do your job and what you want to do in life better. And that's my answer.
That's your answer, and you're sticking to it.
Question 4. No, I'm just kidding. I am just kidding.
That's. I mean, family is a huge subject. We could probably spend the rest of
the.
the.
Known for because there's a fly on the table. She goes, compassion towards animals.
No, I mean, family is a huge subject, and you know, I feel like that's. I was actually surprised that you didn't say that when I asked the other question that said, you know, how would you answer the question, who is Maureen? That, like, you're all about family, because you're all about family. I mean, you are so all about family. I mean, that's a given.
Well, I like to be a good example, hopefully, you know. But there again, it's something that I'm not always putting the finger out towards me, kind of. So it's probably why I don't think to say, I am, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, it isn't even a matter of, you know, being recognized for it. Just what your passions are and what you know, what occupies your heart and your mind and
Well,
your,
yeah,
you know, your
your
day.
family always. You sort of go down the whole bunch of them, and each day, and remember them and pray about them and hope that they succeed.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, I mean, growing up in a big family is, you know, both a blessing and a challenge at times. I think it's mostly a blessing, and I think
Oh, yeah.
especially because, you know, I think we freaking lucked out being mostly girls, just because, you know, you can, and I don't, you know, I don't even know what it's really like to have a brother, even though I have one. But like mostly girls, we are all, you know, we were just like all in it together, and we were so close, you know, in age and in experience and all of that, yeah, I wouldn't trade that for anything. It was frustrating. It was a lot at times, but you know, I remember like evenings when we would like be like practically rolling around the floor, beating each other up over what skirt we were going to wear, because I want to wear that one, no, but you want to wear that one, and or you know, like stuff like that. But
Music rehearsals.
music
Are you wearing my bra?
rehearsals.
Do you have my bra on? Like just
Yeah, like
Yeah.
seriously, like all kinds of weird stuff. But in in that way, I feel like you learn when you grow up with a lot of people, you learn to have no secrets or no, there's you're so all in it together. There's nothing you can hide. You grow up to trust people easier, and always know that I've been fortunate in my life to find good friends. I found them late in life, really, because I didn't feel like I needed friends. I don't remember friends when we were kids. I remember our friends, but like we were our own friends, and that was always such a blessing. That
Plus, I feel like everyone around us was related to us. The Farrells.
Yeah,
Were the
yeah.
Farrells related to us?
yes,
Okay. So the Farrells, like the people that we hung around with, were our cousins, and
yeah,
you know,
That's
yeah.
what I said. Your dad was interested in family, and that's
Yeah.
who you met.
Yeah.
You didn't meet Jane 6 houses down.
yeah,
I did.
yeah.
Well,
You did.
Not till
I
you
literally
got,
did.
Not till you got
Yeah, you
older
did.
Yeah.
and out and across the street and
Yeah,
got
yeah,
busy. Then you found your own friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the core friendships were always within the family, and I think still are, really. All my subsequent friendships are awesome, and I love them like family. But you never have, just because you grew up with all the experiences of family. Anyway, that's my legacy video. Sorry, I got off track.
Didn't you know this was a half and half?
Really.
It's a conversation, Maureen. All right.
Oh my
Back
god,
on
I threw
track.
you off for a second. I'm sorry, are we interrupting your legacy video?
All right. What now? What now are you passionate about? And what is it about whatever you're passionate about that excites you?
What now? Am I
What are you passionate about? Yeah. What are you passionate about now in your life?
Thinking. I'm passionate about thinking.
Well,
About
that's
remembering
good.
what I'm passionate about.
What am I passionate about? Surviving.
Surviving.
Surviving with the current world we live in.
The world we live in has always been current. You just wake up in the morning and deal.
I know, but it's so much ruder
I know it
with
is. It is.
the way things are in life right now.
Although we think so. We think so.
I would like eventually to write a book, but I never get to it.
Why not?
Because I haven't.
Well, do it.
I get sidetracked and whatever.
Do it.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
sidetracked by
Doing
the
nothing.
Red Sox and
Doing
the
nothing.
golf and the Olympics.
No, I was just repeating what you
sports.
said.
She's passionate about sports.
Oh my god, that should have been the
I
first thing out
know,
of your
I
mouth.
know.
Mom's missing at a social event. She's in the car listening to sports radio.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay,
I like
sports. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I mean, sports is great,
Yeah.
and I'm sure that has influenced quite a few of the people in our family towards that.
Just keep the paper
I'm sorry.
in one place. You close it up again and put it down.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm
What
fidgeting.
what would you like to write your book about?
My life. That would include, all
Some
about
of
it,
us.
and you guys. And
Chosen few.
You, but not you. And you know.
You might get a chapter.
It'll be a footnote. Okay,
I was
so
interested in, I wasn't interested in hair, but I took it up because your dad was doing it, and eventually I realized at that point in
see?
our life
just saying.
that I was going to have to work for the rest of my life with all these kids,
Yeah.
So that's when we lived on Elm Street. And so I got a job across the street in the Davis and Ferber for a while.
Uh huh.
And And I hated that, because I could look across though and see you guys out there, but still. So I decided to take up hair, and so.
What did you do at Davison Ferber?
Yeah, I don't remember you at Davison Ferber.
Yeah, I was working in some office.
And your office looked out on what? Our house?
Yeah,
Wow, that was
Yeah.
weird
it worked
because
out
that place
good.
was ginormous.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it worked
It was
out
at the
good.
same time that Daddy worked there.
Yeah, but he was down the street in.
Yeah, he was in that
You could
little.
still see the
Yeah,
clothesline.
Yeah, he would. What?
You could still see the clothesline. He would. Don't you remember that? He
No.
came. Oh God, he came home and it was raining one time, and he came down because nobody had. It was Tara's job to take the clothesline, and she forgot to. She get in trouble.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
that
crazy.
happens.
But he
I
could
can't
see.
hear you.
Oh, he could just see in the rain that the clothes were on the clothesline.
Oh,
So for wherever his office was, but he was security, so he would go
Yeah, he
all
was-
over
He
the
was
yeah,
place.
all
yeah,
over.
he was
Yeah.
I
But he
still
could
looked
see our
at
house.
Davison
Yeah.
Ferber.
Anyway, so when I realized I had to work forever, I decided to take up hair, and I did it. But I had no idea I would enjoy it
Yeah,
as much as I
you
had.
do.
Yeah,
And it became a
and
lifetime.
be good at it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
A lifetime thing.
So was that your? Oh, so before Davison Ferber, did you have a job?
No.
That was your first job.
Yeah.
How long did you stay there?
Not a terribly long time. When I realized that
It was like office work.
Yeah, it was office work, and yeah. So yeah.
I
was
never
that?
knew what was inside there. It just looked like a huge machine company.
You never
And
went
it-
in. You did.
I never did either.
What? Oh my god.
I think I did, but I think it was past the point where people actually worked there. I think.
No,
it was
you
when-
know what it was? It was like after hours because Daddy used to take us for
Oh, yeah.
on
No,
tour.
but I
on the
remember that. But
I never was inside.
it looked
all
like it
over
was
the
just a
building.
place that had been almost like. I
Well,
don't
it was a
know.
machine factory, so it wasn't like it was
Deserted.
just.
is the
It,
word
it
I
was
looking
yeah,
for.
it was deserted because he used to take us after hours when he
Yeah.
was like the watchman, and he would take. I remember I loved those little tours. He used to take us a lot, and those hooks that would hang from the
Oh, God.
ceiling, and
that you could hold on to them and they
Yeah.
were automated.
and he would go like so they would they're the
Oh.
hook, the huge hooks that would move the machinery or whatever, and he would like hoist us up and we hang onto the hook, and then he had like a little remote button that it
That
would
we could
it
go
went
on.
yeah, so it would like take
God.
you across the factory
that's
floor.
weird.
Yeah, it was fun.
Okay, what was down
Spooky and weird and
behind
like
the
grease.
pond on the other side with those open things like this that had the big.
sand. That was Davison Ferber as well.
That was Davison Ferber,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, that whole massive complex was
Oh,
Davison
yeah.
Ferber.
Oh, Davison
You should see it now. It's all
Past the chimney.
restaurants and yoga studios and
Oh, really?
Weird. We were just talking about going back.
apartments. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
just
you
talking about
should.
going
You
back,
should
yeah.
totally go.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's crazy. I thought they turned them into condos.
this condo, it's ginormous. It takes up 2 city blocks.
Well, I'm sure, but
Wow.
so did Davison Ferber.
Yeah.
And that's
it
what I'm
was just
saying.
massive.
Davison
Oh,
Ferber.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, but didn't the pond come in behind like
The
where
pond,
we live?
Osgood Pond was behind us. That
to
was
the left,
yeah.
because down this hill was Davison Ferber,
Yeah.
but down that side was the pond,
Yeah.
like
yeah.
more behind Richards
Yeah.
and the rest of
Yeah,
the things.
that was
Yeah.
Osgood Pond, which belonged to
The
the
snapping
and they've
turtles.
turned Osgood, whatever that was, into condos as well.
Hmm.
Years ago. Yeah, all of the old mills back east
Are no longer
turned
mills,
into
yeah.
like.
The ones
Housing.
in Lawrence too.
I don't know so much about Lawrence, but like where Daddy lived in Andover, it used to be the old Converse sneaker factory, and they turned it into senior apartments. It was
Oh,
nice.
yeah.
It was really
I
nice.
don't kind of remember that.
It was right up by the train station.
But. Okay, we're getting off track.
Well, not really. There's no track. Okay. Shut up. All right. What are you? Okay. Did that one.
Literally said 2 words.
You what?
Who?
So Diana said I've literally
She
said
said,
2 words and you're like, shut up and look right at her.
I told her to shut up, and she hasn't said anything.
Oh.
All right. Was there a time in your life when you felt you were heading down the wrong path? What ended up happening? Did you learn anything from that experience? So when you became a crack addict for a short time.
We're doing prostitute for a while.
When I was heading the wrong path.
It was really the rock pads.
That's how
She
he
said,
knows you.
weren't you you a prostitute for a while. I said it was really the Rockheads.
I'm sorry. I think I was pretty goody two shoes that I
You never
Don't
went down the
ever-
wrong path.
felt like I was heading down the wrong path.
Okay, good answer. Okay,
I'm just joking.
next.
I'm not going anywhere. Have the day off.
What word of advice would you give to younger generations that you think could really benefit from them?
From them?
What words of advice, it doesn't
From
say,
it.
there's no S. What words of advice would you give to the younger generation that you think they could really benefit from?
Oh, okay. Well, number one, if you either go with first or marry second, whichever, don't lose yourself. Stay who you are and make that work. If it doesn't work, then it wasn't meant to be. But don't lose
lose
yourself
yourself
and
in
become the
someone
other
else.
person.
Because you will figure it out somewhere along the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it will backfire. Good one, Ma. All right. Do you like to daydream? If so, what do you think about? Is it memories from the past or hopes from the future? For the future.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking
Okay.
and hopes for the future. Oh, well, it's all of the above, really. You do think of things of the past, but maybe you figure out what you should have done or didn't do or did and it was good as far as that goes. And, the you look for the future. You want to help your kids and to avoid the pitfalls that you might have experienced, or and encourage them just to be themselves. And
How's that going for you?
how's that going? For
Yeah, I
you?
mean, like, you feel like we are doing that?
I think you're all doing well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
What else is she gonna
I
say?
think I'm good.
Well,
No, but the way you said it, how's that going for you? She's like, I think okay.
No, but I mean, like, that's you clearly have raised us to be that way. You think we are, and so
Yeah.
yes, you
Yeah.
said you think we are, and that's lovely. Maybe even more so than you expected or had hoped.
a couple didn't make it yet, but
They're on their
see.
way.
We're still working on it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
This fly would love to be a part of this video. It wants your house.
All right. So we've talked a lot about your upbringing, but this question takes us back a little bit. So tell me, you tell me about your upbringing. You told us some about it, but how do you think that period in your life shaped you into the person you are today?
Being observant, watching behaviors of people, trying to figure out why they do what they do, with my parents and that. I mean, they were good people, and my dad was a good man. He didn't want to hurt my mom by allowing her to continue to drink. Drinking for him it never showed, and, they would never fall down drunk or anything, but he could work all day and then come home and drink for the night and then off to sleep and whatever. She was the one that she couldn't handle it as well. And I get halfway through my answer and then I completely lose track.
Yeah,
Just
I will
drop
refresh
like
the
a dead
question.
fly.
I will refresh. Sorry, she's killing flies in the middle of your answer.
No, no.
That's not distracting.
No,
It was
listen.
the one fly. I
She
had to
killed
get
a
it.
fly and it fell and then went past you and I said, you dropped your thought like a dead fly because I swear to God it's on the video. Oh, that was funny.
Okay, so I will refresh your memory. How do you think that your upbringing, the period of your life, shaped you into the person you are today?
I completely lost the answer to that.
Okay.
You said now, the person you are today, you now watch what people do and what leads to, you know, how people behave and react
From your
and
own
how
experiences.
it leads from your own experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay.
I was paying attention.
Oh, I was.
You were killing flies.
Hey. Okay. All right. Yeah. So that's your answer.
Yeah, that's my
And you're
answer.
sticking to it.
Move
All right.
on.
What
You
do
agree?
you what do you do? What did your family do for fun?
Every Sunday we go out for a ride.
You go what?
Ride. We used to go for rides.
Ride in the
Oh,
park.
Dad was like that.
Yeah.
Well,
You know,
Did it end in ice cream?
Treadwells
lots of times.
Yeah.
No.
on the hill watching the cows.
Well, that's with your dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking about. Every Sunday we went out. It's with your dad, not my dad. This is when I'm young, or
Yeah.
This is, yeah,
whenever.
when you were younger, growing up.
What
Or
did we
both.
do?
Like it doesn't matter. Like, what did you do with your folks when you were young, and then what did you do
we
with
didn't.
us?
We didn't go out and about that much. I don't know, because when you have a house, there's so much around it to do.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
neighbors and then your activities like Girl Scouts and your friends and things, so you just work from the house as far
Yeah.
as,
I feel like back then,
yeah.
everything was almost
Very-
inclusive.
yeah like I knew every person in every house, and we let our dog out the front door and he never went any further than those 2 streets, and
What kind of dog did you have?
German Shepherd Husky,
What was his name?
Snooky,
Snooky.
Snooky.
Was it a? Was it a?
whitish mostly,
Was it male or female?
female.
Female.
Oh, please, 9 litter of puppies.
Oh my God! Really? And did you keep any?
my kind of dog.
We kept one. Finally, one of the last litters.
And who was that?
Brandy, yeah.
Female.
But he never. No, it's a he, and
Oh.
he never. You just never felt the same attachment as you did for the first one.
Yeah.
Is that the way you feel about your kids?
Yeah.
Just wondering.
Shit, I'm 4th.
I was gonna say I think I'm Brandy.
Dad's new nickname is Brandy.
From now on.
Except we're not going to remember that either.
Oh, that's my life story. Come
No.
on.
I'm so tough.
Dude,
Wow.
Brandy.
Well, that's not true. You mean as much. Oh dear.
So were those your only pets?
Yeah.
You had no
Would you-
cats?
Yeah. Huh?
Not cat
No
people?
cats?
No. No cats.
And did you have pets after that, like when you guys got married or anything?
No.
Tyson.
No.
Well, Ticey, and before Ticey was Jody.
Ticey was it.
Oh, no.
Remember we
Pussy.
had Jody for. Oh, we had cats. We had cats up the yin yang.
Oh.
And that you let us name a pussy still is disturbing.
I always tell people like you don't ever let your kids name your cat.
I've told that story so many
Yeah.
times. I'm like, oh, we had a cat that just had so many cats. And they were like,
You
oh, how
whispering.
cute. What's his name? I said, Pussy.
Oh.
They were like, what? I would tell people
What?
at the restaurant. His name was Pussy. Why
We
would you
named
let us
our
name a
cat
cat
Pussy.
Pussy?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But
And
that
we-
cat
we
had
had clueless.
literally, how many litters does
So
that cat
many
have?
letters, so many letters. That was before you could.
Do you
neuter a
remember that?
spade.
And Albino Farms? Or Albino Road?
It was that the old Polish farm.
Yes, and we brought Pussy out there and she walked all the way home.
Yeah. I remember that because I found her on the back piazza, and one morning, and she was gone for days. Daddy was like,
Wow.
Literally, we
we
went-
cannot have any more litters. So he brought her out to the
So far away.
the old Polish farm that had a million
Million
cats
cats.
and chickens and all
How
kinds
do
of.
you
It's
not
like
know that?
she'll
Yeah.
never know. She'll never. The woman who lived there, she'll never know the difference that there's one more cat. Left the cat off,
Yeah.
and we were like crushed.
Yeah.
And then I remember like about 2 weeks later, I went out onto the back piazza to get our clothes off the laundry. And there she was, not just home, found her way home,
Got up onto
20
the
miles
piazza?
or however long. It wasn't 20 miles, but it might as
It
well
was-
have been.
It was
out
20
to
miles.
Boxford.
Yeah, it was Boxford.
Yeah.
And found her way home, but then made her way up to the back piazza, and that was like she was staying at
Oh,
that
yeah.
point. She was staying. Yeah,
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
she was amazing.
That's so
Yeah.
crazy.
But we did have a shitload of cats. like
Yeah.
growing up.
Every
Which
single
is-
time you
I
would go
love
down
that.
to the basement,
Yeah.
there'd be tiny little kittens everywhere, and you're like, oh my god.
I love that.
Which
I
is
love
funny that
that.
I didn't grow up to be a cat person, really.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, I mean, till now, yeah.
yeah.
I love dogs. I love dogs, but I feel like cats are my spirit animal.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Uh,
Yeah,
Huh.
just love
I
cats.
feel the other way, but I love cats. I mean, I find myself talking to cats all the time.
I know they're brilliant. They're brilliant.
No, like on there's a lot of cats that are outside of where I deliver or whatever, and you're like, hi kitty, hi kitty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
now I see a whole different personality in them because I have one.
Yeah.
But before I was like,
Oh my god.
Right.
Reel it in. Reel it in. Oh my god. Okay. Diana has
Okay.
an appointment for
got a
her,
date.
right?
Oh, you do?
No, we're kidding.
All right. Last question. Do you have any favorite family stories and memories you would like to share?
Or children. Any favorite
Any
children?
family. Anybody's family.
Every family.
Any family stories or memories you would like to tell?
A favorite family story, memory.
Your
something
family
funny.
way back, or our family, or whatever.
I'm thinking.
I'm sure you have a lot.
All of the shows we did.
Oh,
graduation.
Shall I just send you home with that homework for the next time we meet?
Oh, that'd be practice for your book.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's good.
actually, I was just thinking we'll send you these questions, and that is a good start for your book. Just like kind of you don't have to like answer them and write a book of your answers, but if you want to start like just sort of like get the juices flowing, this
Yeah.
is good.
Yeah.
And start thinking about stuff and
It's
start writing them
pre-folded.
down.
It's pre-folded as well.
Do you?
It slips down.
Do you
onto the
prefer
top.
to write longhand? Silly question. Or on a computer?
I usually write more.
I know you do, and you write very well, and
Very big.
and big and like long.
Eagle.
So, but that's a good thing when you're writing a book. So I'm saying you should do that, and we will send you these and other questions if that helps. And just so going in, because I'm grappling with the same things. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just put everything down. Write drunk, edit sober. That's what Hemingway said. Sorry. No, just write everything, and it doesn't matter. It
So
doesn't
then
have to
it's
be perfect.
start drinking, write drunk, edit sober.
Wait, but I would think it would be easier to just like talk to your
Oh,
Oh,
get
you
like
can
a
do that.
little mini
like,
recorder.
and
That's
then
a
it
good
would
one.
take so much less time.
But she likes that. I think you love to write.
No, but
because
you could always
when you
sit
write
later
letters,
on.
they're pages
that
and pages and
much.
pages long.
Not that much. Yeah,
I
that's
know
a lot
writing's
of
hard work,
writing.
but you know it's easy to. I mean, if you that's a good idea then. If just get a recorder and write your memories and or speak your memories and
You could always play it back and write the parts that you think.
Yeah, or like put it in order once
Yeah.
you get it all down.
Also, by the way, I was just discussing with Diana before you guys got here that you can do that on your computer. If you start recording on your phone, you can then go on your computer, push a button. There's a certain button on your computer. Play this back, and it will write it out and transpose it for
Oh,
you.
wow.
So
Yeah,
you
I
can
just
then
found
have
it.
has it. Then you have it on.
None of the long hand and
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
So all right. I challenge you to start thinking about writing the book. If that's something you've always wanted to do, why wouldn't you do it? It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be like, New York Times bestseller list. Just put your ideas down. Put your thoughts down. Tell your story. Obviously, people want to know your story. So
It's a
tell
good
your
idea,
story.
the recording thing. It really is.
All right, you're done.
Yeah, good genius.
Good job.
You did it.
Yay.
Good job, girls.
See ya.